There was every question where this guy drew a big attention in the Q League for being one of the association's best goalies of his era. Unfortunately, when he made the Toronto Maple Leafs and he gave him a chance over a number of seasons, he didn't evolve in that backup where Toronto needed at the time. But for what he did, he put up some decent numbers in the AHL and the NHL. So today we're going to be talking about the legend of Vincent Tremblay. Now, born October 21st, 1959 in Quebec City. 6'1", 180, came to major prominence with a strong 3-year career in the Q League with the Quebec Remparts. Now, his best season was 1978, where he played 50 games with a 4.53 average with 4 games in the playoffs. 79, his draft year, he played 66 games with a 4.56 average and 2 shutouts. Now, Toronto decided to take a later round draft pick on him, took him 4th round, 72nd overall. He was sent to the Brunswick Hawks, Toronto's affiliate at the time, for seasoning. Went 4-3 with 14 games, but with 10 games with Toronto. Went 2-1 with a 5.14 average and spot duty. Now 81, again, almost another full season with New Brunswick. 24, 12-8 with a stellar 3.24 average. Now he also played 3 games for Toronto that year, unfortunately losing all 3 games with a 6.71 average. Now 82, this is where he got his big chance in Toronto. He took up half of their goalie duties that year with a 10-18-8 record, but his goals against average was just terrible, ladies and gentlemen. 4.52 with only 88 save percentage. Now 83, sent back to the minors again, had a better season, St. Catharines, 11-17-01 in 35 games. Then moved on to the Pittsburgh Penguins in 84, 10-8-7 in a regular season to the AHL, with an 0-4 record with Pittsburgh and 4 starts in that campaign. And he wrapped up his minor pro career in 85 with Rochester of the AHL with a 3.81 average with a 13-10-8 record in 33 games. Now overall 58 games in the NHL, 12-26-8. But you got to understand, ladies and gentlemen, that Toronto was taking a big look at his goalie level at the time. Now, would Vincent be a number 1 goalie in NHL? He would have been a solid backup. Now, 82 was a rough season for Toronto. Now, we know all the machinations of that team, but 82 under Nicolak was just terrible, ladies and gentlemen. It wasn't Tremblay's fault. Only 20 wins that season, and he had 10 of those. Buddy Larocque was the number 1 goalie that year, and he tried another francophone goalie in Bob Perron to see how they can augment. But despite, like I said, that year they had Vive, Dorlego, Payma, John Anderson, Boyer Soloming, Terry Martin, Daryl Sittler, Rennie Robert, and Rocky Sagnac, and Boschman and Aubin, and Dan Maloney, and he still only won 20 games. So you can't really blame Vincent, you can't really blame anything, but it was just a bad year. Where a team has a 50-goal scorer and you only have 20 wins, ladies and gentlemen, management didn't make the right decisions in relation to, how it was going. And we have to remember, ladies and gentlemen, Billy Harris was pretty well too old to be that player that they expected. Ian Turnbull was pretty well gone for the rest of the season. So was Pat Hickey was left go. So, it's a Vincent, just wrong place at the wrong time. 2 more years later, he might have had a better chance to stay in the NHL. But, he had talent. I saw him play, and, he was decent in the games that Toronto won that year. He was a guy that won the games, but, boys, they had a rough go that year. So that's a legend of Vincent Tremblay. Thanks for listening. Bye.